This video is entitled Women's Dating Sexual Habits Proves a Gaping Flaw in Female Intelligence. I'm sure if you're a guy who grew up in America, especially when you back in the day, you were taught to believe that women were these special, moral, decent creatures, flawless creatures. And a lot of times when you grew up with that type of belief system, it's hard to break those beliefs in terms of thinking. It's hard to break away from those. Because I used to believe that. I used to believe that for the longest. And that type of belief is reinforced by everything on television. Pretty much everything on television. The church reinforces this belief. Your mother reinforces this belief. Your sister reinforces this belief. And every woman you pretty much meet reinforces this belief. Whenever a woman does some fuck shit, it always, their argument is always how some man is either directly or indirectly the reason why. But when you really look at women and you deal with women and you see the type of people who they surround themselves with, you see the type of men who they sleep with, you see the type of men who they have kids with. Now, I got a family member who I would say is a thug. He was original. He's one of the originals. This is back in the 80s now. He's had, I would say, at least, I say 40 women of every type. Every kind of black woman you can imagine he's had them. Good looking, nice looking black women with good jobs. To the hood rats, to the older ones, and he's a thug. Doesn't work. He doesn't really do anything, pretty much. And every woman he's had, he's beat on them. But guess what? They've always come back. That was the strangest thing. They always come back. Ain't that crazy? But women would always have you believe that they'll leave, or that, that they didn't know. But when you observe women and you deal with women and you actually examine their kind of behavior and their thinking, you'll see that women like that. Women provoke men to fight them. See, the stuff that I'm saying you would never hear on the news, or you never hear people say this type of shit. And if they did say it, well, like I think Stephen A. said it one time. He's an Uncle Tom, but and he got in trouble for saying it. But it's the truth though. Women like that type of shit. Women like to provoke men. It's just like how women, they'll always say things like, "Oh, women don't like men who cheat." But if you observe women love guys who cheat on them. They love that. It's an ego boost that makes them feel like they're special because they got a guy who other women want. See, we live in this PC world where everything is politically correct. And it's hard to find the truth when everything is politically correct, because you're going to say things that don't really make sense, but it's the truth though. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense for you to say, oh, women like men who abuse them, or women like guys who cheat on them. It doesn't make sense, but this is how it is though. Or when they say, oh, nice guys finish last, women like thugs and shit like that. It don't make sense, true, but it's the truth though. I've seen this shit with my own eyes since I was a kid, you know, because the person I'm talking about is older than me, and it was mind-boggling to me, you know. But that's how women are, you know. That's how women are. It's just like women are like I said before, they're like this. When they're young, it's all about the ego. They're shallow, superficial. But then when they get like 30, 35, they got a bunch of kids, they in financial trouble, they got a lot of problems going on. Then they kind of want the decent dude, the dude who takes care of business. And the only reason they want him is they want to use him. And you know, a lot of dudes will go for that because a lot of these guys are simps. But women's sexual nature, the thing that they do, it it shows the flaws within female logic, because a lot of men still can't break away from that belief system that women are innocent and everything that bad that goes on with them that they participate in is somehow indirectly or directly related to something a man did. They'll say, well, it's because they don't have fathers, or they'll say, well, because some black men treated them bad, or when it could just be that women ain't shit. Just like when they say, like, women who cheat, they'll say, well, women cheat because the man at home ain't doing something right. The man at home could be doing everything so-called right. She just might like to fuck different guys, you know. But you can't tell a lot of these guys this stuff. A lot of these simps, a lot of these older dudes, a lot of these young motherfuckers too, you know. Because everybody around them usually reinforces this idea that women are pure and innocent and everything that goes wrong, that they do wrong, is not their fault. It's somehow someone else's. It's just like how, okay, if a man goes out and commits a crime, let's say kills somebody or something, it's easy for people to say, lock that nigga up and throw away the key. He was no good. Motherfuckers don't sit back and say, well, he was treated bad. He was abused as a young kid. He was called names. He was poor. He was broke. They don't do shit like that to invoke sympathy for that dude. But if a woman does it, it's like, uh, she was a sexually assaulted as a kid. She was called ugly. She was treated like shit. That's why she did it. This type of shit that they do to invoke sympathy for a sorry woman. And a lot of us do this shit in our minds too, on a very subconscious level. Even a lot of us who have basically seen the true nature of women. A lot of times you have to fight that urge to feel sympathy for these women and look at them just like you would look at a man when a woman does some foul shit. When a man does some foul shit, motherfuckers don't sit back and try to conjure up sympathetic shit for him. We just say he was no good, throw away the key. Bam. But with a woman, we do. Women want equality. Well, let's give it to them.